Hey. Last night, of course, I was like, I have to go back to work. And today I was like, back to that routine. And I'll tell you, I've missed my routine. It's been a week of awesomeness, but at the same time, too many parties, too much barbecue, me feeling sluggish and drained. And I was like, I don't eat like this. I don't live like this. It's okay to let go sometimes, right? Spent a lot of time with family and friends and my kids, and it's been awesome. But now it's back to that grind, and all I could do was lay in bed a little longer and go, be positive. Be positive. You're not getting out of bed until you look at this positively. So I snoozed my alarm. I always set it way early, and I always get up before it, but it doesn't matter. Either way it goes, if you're going into something you don't want to go into, do it positively. Because either way it goes, you're going into it, right? Like, you can be like, I don't want to. You can make me, but I don't want to. And the way that you enter into that is going to be the way that it comes back. Either you're going to go in with a good mindset and good things are going to happen, or you're going to go in with hostility and you're going to meet so much hostility and blocks and just things that are going to flub your day, right? So we have to get to a point where we realize we all do things we don't want to do. It's the facts of life, the life that we live, right? By the societal standard that we allow. Either way, we won't go off on those tangents today. We have to start saying, okay, mindset is everything. And I always harp on mindset because it's something we forget. That is the freedom of choice that we're given. Am I going to feed the angry lion, or I'm going to feed the happy lion? Am I going to embrace the darkness and screw everybody and I don't care how this turns out and they get what they deserve? Or are we going to embrace the lighter side and just add a little bit of enjoyment to the world? Because when it comes down to it, we could all beat each other down with our emotions and our hatred and the way that we feel about life. The life we live is nothing like the life that we used to live. But that also comes down to aging and more responsibility and things that place constraints on our lives, right? But even our children today don't live the life we lived. It seemed there was a lot more freedom 25, 30 years ago. You didn't have cameras everywhere. You were allowed to make mistakes. Not everybody was judging you. And let me tell you, if people are judging you, just smile. Just wave. Because who cares? Who cares what they have to say about you? Who cares if they're building you up or tearing you down? The only thing you can do in the matter if they're tearing you down is return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. That is not my filthy energy. I don't want it on me. Just shake it off, We all have to get to that point where we raise ourselves up on a vibrational level where we're not touchable. Not by the low, conniving, angry, bitter, darkened individuals that think they're the only people in the world that have ever been scorned or hurt. We've all had that. Bad things happen to us. We all have stories that people are like, I would have never guessed. No, nobody ever guesses that bad things happen, especially when you meet a good person. But we all have to go through lessons. We all go through life. We all have to have our highs and lows so we can understand things that we didn't understand. We have to be tried to see if we're true. We have to be taught lessons in regards to things we were willing to do to people in the past. Not even going into it, say, willingly, but just unconsciously living a life. I was sitting outside the other day and I was thinking about my teenage years, and I was like, I forgot about that. Oh my, I see why I've gone through what I'm going through. That was not nice. How could you have done that? How could you have been that way? But the thing is, when you are a certain way and you learn the lessons, that's the greatness. You get to graduate. You get to say, I'm not going to do that again. I now understand how delicate a heart can be. I now understand how a mind can be weakened. I now understand how I can affect the world around me and how it's going to reflect back on me. That's the thing about growing. We learn, we understand. And the more that we understand, the more that we grow, the less we're willing to do to throw people under the bus, to get a personal gain, to take advantage of somebody else's skill set, to tear somebody down because they make us feel inferior. We learn. That's the only way you're going to make it through this life, to actually build yourself up, to get away from the toxic, low-vibing nastiness that when you're there, you succumb to it. And I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about the Lotus Room. You can get lost. You can get stuck. You can feel trapped. And everything about life feels like chaos when you're not sedated in that room, because the actuality of life is you can't stay sedated all day long. There's still moments of coherent thought. There's still moments of memories. There's still moments of, how did I allow that lead to embarrassment, shame, whatever it is, the things that put you right back into that sedation that make you go, I don't really like myself when I'm not like that. So I'm going to continue to dull my mind, to dull my senses, to allow people to use me, to be treated as if I'm an option. I'm not going to honor my value, because once I honor me, then I have to push people away, and that's lonely. You know how nice it can be to be alone? I was reminded that the other day. My house was hopping for hours, and I had to say, hey, we're going to go play disc golf, my son and I, to get everyone to leave. In the end, we got to the park, and it was so flooded that we didn't get to play, so we barbecued. Everyone showed back up again, and it was like, all I could hear is my friend saying, everyone loves Sheena. Yeah, but Sheena likes to have some alone time. And that went on for days, and then we had a party, and then we had a break, and then we had a party. And I was sitting on the porch last night, and my daughter said, so are we still gonna, I don't want to do anything else at this point. I am humanized out. I have had enough social interaction to last me for a month. I don't mind going out. I'm an Aquarian. I can be very extroverted, but when I'm introverted, I want my time. Because we all need time to recover, and I think we forget that. And I mean in the sense of too many drinks and too much fun, and everyone's like, oh, there's never too much. You hit a certain age, there is too much. You get really tired and drained, and you're just like, I really need to eat some fruit. I really need to drink some lemon water. I really need to build myself back up. Because we can go around people that will keep just plucking at us. And I was sitting outside earlier, and I was thinking about when people talk bad about us or just pick at our energy and, oh, I love the way you make me feel. Yes, everyone does. It's called a vulture eating at you till you're dead. And all I could see was just chunks coming out and blood. And I know, probably a little bit too much, but that's what I saw when people are in the midst of using somebody who gives light to the world. And there's a lot of users. And all I could see was myself almost plucked to the bone until someone came along with that true loving light and love and gave it back. And it began to heal and patch up the pieces. And it made me think of how we can help or hinder, how we can put people not on a pedestal, because when you put someone on a pedestal, then eventually you're going to want to knock them down because now you feel insecure. You've placed someone so high you can't even get close to them. We're all human. We're all here on the same rock, going in a circle, trying to figure out what the what's going on. And especially when life has changed so much from what it was to what it is, and I can only see where it's going. Oh, we're looking for insanity. We're at a point where nothing makes sense. Why do something that makes sense? I've watched so many people my age do things that don't make sense. And I just have to go, to each their own. We're all on different levels. We're all on different paths. We all have different lessons. I've had to, for myself, to not judge and look at them and go, oh my God, they're so stupid. Because who am I to say what you are? I've been there. I have been very sedated. I've had people that have tried to dig stuff up on me. If you want to know, just call me. Look back in my videos. I'm pretty sure I've told a lot of the tales of my dark past. We all have one. It doesn't matter who I was. It matters who I am. If you look at who I was, hopefully you can go, dang, she done been through some stuff. And in the end, what did I choose to do with it? Same question for you. You can have gone through some stuff. What did you choose to do with it? Did you keep adding on to the toxicity? Did you keep staying in that same crowd that was drilling you into the ground? Did you finally pull back and say, I have more worth than this? Like, I have to value me. I have to love me. I have to build me up. Because if I don't, I'm going to be stuck in a place I'm miserable in. And when it comes down to it, when you get a taste of happiness and love and affection and that nurturing vibe that Mamaw gave, do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to the darkness? Do you want to go back to where people want to use you, abuse you, make you look like a fool so they don't feel so stupid? Or do you want to say, I had a taste of greatness? I want to work towards that. Because that's the thing. You get to choose. It's like Baskin Robbins. There's all kinds of flavors, and there's more than you can imagine because you can mix and match. Everyone's not the same palate, right? Not everybody wants to strive to do better because there is failure in that. There are non-successes. There are lessons. There are setbacks. There are trajectories forward and then falling back. And like, what'd I do wrong? There's introverted thought. There's thinking about what you can do to better your life, not what somebody can give you to make your life better. But that's where it starts boiling down to. The more you wake up, the more you're capable to provide for yourself and your family. And it still comes back to being in a good vibe. I used to have a shirt that said good vibes or goodbye. Loved that shirt. And it's exactly where I was in life at the time. And at this point, I do not entertain people in my life very much. I tried to hang out with somebody not too long ago and finally had to say, whoa, that was harsh. Now I see why I stayed in myself. Because when it comes to being guarded, having boundaries, it makes it to where very few people can get through the gate. In the sense that they come along and they're not in the vibrational status of where they need to be to enter into a world that makes no sense. It was just like me holding my pendulum last night. And people are often like, I can't go anywhere. You're freaking me out, man. Or I don't believe in that. You believe in whatever you want. I didn't ask you. I believe in everything because everything is a possibility. We have to get to a point where we understand that what we put our time and effort into is what we're learning and practicing. The most unbelievable things are real. They happen. Just like someone who can be so cold and dark and just destroy their family because they can't pick themselves up. That's unbelievable to me. But it's real. It's happened. When you witness it, you can't unwitness it. When you know that it happened in your world, then you know that it's a reality in the world. Not all realities are good. Not all of them are full of butterflies and rainbows. Most of us experience the storm, the chaos, and no shelter. But all you can do is say, how do I want to get out of bed today? Do I want to get up and say, here we go again? Or do I get up and go, here we go again? It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. And time is a figment of my imagination, so gotta do what I gotta do to get by in an honest way. Because I can't take myself back down that dark path that I worked so hard to get out of. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights, chaos, people that are relentless that I would have never imagined at the time doing things that they did. And then stomaching that. But eat it up and grow. That's all we can do. Sending you peace, lots of love, and a little bit of light. Goodbye.